Welcome back, everyone. We are going to go to step 6 of our video on how to create step-by-step this instruction on step-by-step creation of your first SpecFlow Selenium test framework. In step 5, we've kind of looked into uh, let me just go back a bit. Yeah, in step 5, we looked into SpecFlow runner activation. So one thing I need to also talk about this, which I didn't mention in the last video, is you only need to do this particular step once for any email address that you have. But of course, if you are having lots of email addresses, you might need to do that several times. But if you only use one email address for this particular purpose, you only need to do it once. But one thing that you need to do, even if you run your test, you just need to run your test from here. Just click on run. Once that is finished, you you go to the output, click on output, and then after you've done that, change that to test. Once you change that to test, if you're able to see any link that I've shown in the last video, so you can click on that. But if nothing is shown, like it will just say, yeah, activation check completed. That means you don't need to do the SpecFlow plus runner activation. So, okay, let's move to what we are now going to do now, which is adding Nuget packages. So my name is DJ Ogunlaja. So we need to add some Nuget packages. I have recommended 3 of them for this particular demo. So 3 Nuget packages that you need because we are going to be using WebDriver. Of course, you need WebDriver. So you also need to add uh, SpecFlow, sorry, Selenium.support, which normally is for drop down actually. So you need that if you need to be able to work with any drop down or any list. I think that is required. And another recommended or required Nugget package that you need is Selenium, the WebDriver, Chrome driver, because we are going to be using Chrome. So if you are not using Chrome and if you are using like IE, then you should use this particular driver. Or if you are using Firefox, you should use this driver. For those guys that are also interested in multi-browser setup, you want to use IE, Firefox, and Chrome in your test framework, then you will need to install all of them uh, in in your as your Nugget packages that you need. And another Nugget package that is not important is in NUnit. So because in this particular demo we decided to use Selenium one, we decided to use SpecFlow Plus. Decided to use SpecFlow Plus as our test runner. So, but if you did not use SpecFlow Plus as your test runner and you decided to use NUnit as in the first instance, you might need to add that. But if you already selected NUnit, where at the third step that we did in the video, then you don't actually need this as well because that should be already been added automatically for you. So basically, these are no longer required. But if you check and if you think you need it, you can add them. But I would say they're no longer required. Okay, so now these are what we need to do. So for you to add your required Nugget packages, you need to go to Tools, Nugget Package Manager, and then click on Nugget Packager Managers for solution. If you are newbie, that's what I was proposed for you. But if you know what you're doing, you can as well right click on the solution and click on the package. There are different ways to do that. So, okay, which I'm going to show you. The first way is for you to click on your tools, and then click on Nuget package solution. Yeah, Nuget package manager, and then Nuget package. So that takes you to here, right? So you got that displayed. So the second step that you can also do is to right click in here and click here. So which actually is faster for me actually. But the only issue is that if you kind of click on your project here, so that will give you in a context which is now not for the whole solution for your project for that particular project. So if you're having more than one project, if you do this, it's going to apply to only that particular project that you selected. So if you know what you're doing and you want to apply it to the solution, you need to click on the right place. Because for instance, if you click on this one and you go into the Nuget package, you won't actually see any solution here because this particular context is on your project. You've already selected the project, so you won't see the solution. So let's go and do the solution one. So click on tools and then click on Nuget package manager, and then I'll click on this one for solution. So what you now need to do, as you can see, you go to browse, you click on browse. So once you click on browse, like I propose in this particular uh, example, that's a recommended one. So you will need this particular first one, which is the Selenium WebDriver. So you search for that. So once you search for that, you're going to see this. So if you've selected for uh, Nuget package for solution, you're going to see this project listed. If you have more than one project, you will see other projects. You can select the one that you want your Nuget package to be applied to, or as if you want everything to be applied to everything, just click on it. So then you click on install. That should install that for you. So you click on OK for this particular one to make changes to your project. And you can see the update and what it's trying to install for you. And you can click on OK. So, and it's also possible that that particular dialog box that we saw before might not appear in your own case. If you already checked that one button, I'll show you in the next one. So, okay, in this one, you need to click on accept, and then look down here. You will see that it's already been installed successfully, and you should check some. This is also a good practice to ensure that this is checked successfully. So I know for Nuget package also there are other ways to install that. So for newbies, I'm not going to complicate issues because I know that you can use your Nuget package console to do that. It's just for you to know that this is not the only step, but you can also use a Nuget package console, and that will just you just need to write the code to be able to do that. But you don't need to worry. This is sufficient for now. So we've kind of installed the Selenium WebDriver. So we just need to do the other two. Same way, this time around, because we already have our Nuget package open, so manager open. So we just search for the next one, which is this one. And then one thing I also want to say, like if you have your package already installed, you're going to see this particular arrow pointing down, right? So, and you know that you already have it installed, it's going to be green. So, but if there's a new version of that particular Nuget package, this particular arrow will change. So it will be gray and the arrow will be pointing to the top, which shows that there's a new upload, there's new updates that you can apply. So that's what. But once you have this green, to be honest, you are fine. So you can leave that. That's fine. So once if there's no any one, like there's no arrow, that means you've not actually installed. Like this one that we're about to install. You click on install, and this is the checkbox I was talking about. If you already checked this particular box, so ongoing, you will not see this particular dialog again. So that means if you don't see this dialog, you don't need to worry, but everything should still be fine for you. So the same way also, if you go to the output, you'll be able to see that everything finished successfully, and you should be fine with that, successfully install that. So it's a good process to check to be sure that you got that installed successfully, and also to confirm that you got this particular arrow. So the next one, which is the last one that we need to install, is a Chrome driver. So this is very, very important so that you can have a browser. And another thing that you need to look at is some people get confused because at this point you have different things with Chrome. You have the Selenium WebDriver Chrome driver, you have Selenium CodeDriver WebDriver, and you still have WebDriver Chrome driver. So basically, and you have another one here. So I would say that once you just copy this should be the first one at the top, which is Selenium WebDriver. That is what I would recommend, and it's so sufficient. But before then, you need to ensure one thing, right? So, which is basically you need to ensure that you have the right version of Chrome. So, you have the right version of Chrome. So, if you want to do that, you can go to click on this ellipse. If you click on this ellipse and then click on About, so if you do that, it should give you the version of the Chrome that you have. You should ensure that that version is close to what you are installing. As you can see, my version is 88.4324.104, and this is 4324.96. That's fine. I'll say this number should tally with what you have actually. And this number that you have at the end should be greater than this one in that number 96104 basically. So that's what I have. So and that is the latest one. So you should be able to install this. What is more important are these two all these numbers, this um, version number. So this is what you need to make sure that it is that. So and I always advise you to make sure that your Chrome is updated. So if you don't know how to get it updated, because sometimes people will say, "Oh, I don't know how to update my Chrome." One good thing is for you to just go to say download. So once you say download Chrome, just click on that basically, and that should download Chrome for you. So and then you can that will install. Even if you already have Chrome already installed, it's going to overwrite the one that you have, and that will have the latest version. So always ensure that you got the right version because that can create issues for you during the process. So you click on that once you've decided that's the right version. So that's not the one I want. So that's another issue that you can ensure that you are installing the right version, and you could as well select any of this version to be honest. So if you have 87, but I would recommend you make sure that you have the right version on updated version of your Chrome so that you can use the latest one. So if I click on this one and I click on install, then I click on install. So like I said, it's a good practice to ensure that I've already installed the Chrome. So that is already installed, and then also I can see this particular arrow pointing down, which shows that it's been downloaded. So that that is that concerning the required Nuget packages that we need in this particular demo. So I've gone through that. So in this particular step by step in creating your first test framework, that's what you need. My name is Deji Ogmaya, and the next step that we're going to look into is step number 7, which is creating hooks. So I'll see you in the next